Alert, another hour of our special coverage. The Attorney General of the United States has just sent the key findings from Special Counsel Robert Mueller's nearly 2-year investigation into Russian meddling and possible ties to the Trump campaign to Congress. And there is a verdict. I'm Ed Henry.
And I'm Dana Perino. Attorney General Barr sending those findings to heads and ranking members of House and Senate Judiciary Committees. The letter includes highlights from the report, including that Special Counsel Robert Mueller did not exonerate President Trump of obstruction of justice or find that he committed a crime. Democrats are already demanding the Attorney General turn over the whole thing, and some are threatening to subpoena over it, or even Robert Mueller himself. We'll have complete coverage throughout this hour and the evening. Let's start with Molly Henningberg, excuse me. She's out. If I was at the White House right now, I would be, it's just such a relief. But I'm also just thinking of how many people got caught up in it, how many people had lawyers, the people who are now in jail as a result of the threads that were pulled on this. Let's go to White House correspondent Kevin Corke. He's reporting.
And now it seems
burned through the entire, all the family savings. Absolutely.
They were right all along. Now, we just, by the way, on the bottom of your screen, you see Air Force One there waiting at Palm Beach International Airport. The president will be heading back to the White House. We will certainly see. You've been there before, Dana, obviously, as to whether or not the president will take this opportunity to talk to reporters before boarding the plane or on Air Force One.
Not that I have any advice to give, but I would wait until he's back at the White House.
And I think
because yes, I think that it is a moment that you really want to get it just right, and he can do that this evening or tomorrow morning.
Talk about it on the plane, figure out exactly what you're going to say, have the backdrop of the South Lawn of the White House, perhaps. In the meantime,
but if he does it, we're going to bring it to you live.
Absolutely. In the meantime, we have the statement. Arrested. Now, maybe the president would talk to reporters. You see that little.
I told you nobody listens to me anymore, and I think they're making a good decision. The president now expected to make some comments before flying back to Washington, of course. So. And I wonder if you could just walk us back to what it was like, that at that moment when you found out that there was nothing more to it, that it was over, and that relief. Or were you relieved, or were you also, were you angry? I remember the frustration and the anger, and also because it is a secret process, you're not allowed to talk about it. And Carl, it's so good to have you on the phone with us. Thank you so much for calling in with your expertise and historical background. I'm sure we'll be talking to you again very soon. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Well, I say this is a complete and absolute victory. I mean, way beyond anybody could have expected a year ago with all this crazy fake news that's going on. First of all, absolutely no collusion by anyone in the Trump campaign. The Justice Department can run that investigation. Any one of a number of U.S. attorneys could do it. There are some very great ones. Mm-hmm. I don't think we have to go through another added expense to the government of a special counsel.
Pulling on all of these other threads with these legal problems maybe not ending that emanated from this investigation.
Well, hopefully some common sense will now emerge.
About the legal issues that may still be out there or not. What about the political ones? What are your thoughts about the president's reelection prospects now with what he considers a total victory? And what is your message this afternoon to Democrats who, despite this, may still go ahead and try to impeach the president?
I would just say to them, please think about the country. No matter how much you like or dislike the president, agree or disagree with his policies or his conduct, he is the president. He has been unfairly treated with regard to collusion.
Who I know that obviously you worked very closely together after 9/11 as well.
Yeah, I know Bob. I had great respect for Bob.
Going on for a long, long time. There have also been a lot of stories, people in the media taking shots at you personally and saying that your strategy as an attorney for the president was backfiring. Do you feel some personal vindication this evening?
Well, I say our whole team does, absolutely.
In terms of the evidence?
Well, I think that the Attorney General has the right standard, which is as much as he possibly can. Except for that one thing about not exonerating him on obstruction. And prosecutors don't exonerate, guys. They don't exonerate.
Real quick, Mr. Mayor.
You can't prove a negative.
Real quick, we have about 30 seconds. You have said for a long time you were putting together a report to rebut the Mueller report. Is that now null and void? Do you still feel the need to put out a report?
As of today, no. But, of course, they haven't put their report out yet. This is just a very, very brief summary. So we have to reserve judgment on that. We have a very powerful rebuttal that I think completely blows out of the water the obstruction claim. But I'm not sure we have to do that. The Attorney General in 2 paragraphs and Rod Rosenstein. Remember, the Attorney General, not just his opinion, it's the opinion of Rod Rosenstein and the Office of Legal Counsel, as well as the Attorney General. Or they think Rod Rosenstein all of a sudden, flipped out.
Right.
It was ridiculous.
Rudy Giuliani, the personal attorney for the President of the United States, thank you very much for joining us so quickly amid this breaking news.
Thank you for giving us so much time. Thank you.
Dana, what an
Ed
afternoon.
Henry. I used to glare at you from the White House podium, but now
we're working together.
Now we're here together.
And we didn't know
what a moment to live, to find out in this hour that there was no collusion.
Working together through history right now, and that history continues.
Incredible.
Our colleague Shannon Bream is live in Washington. Brett Baer will be back at 8 p.m. Eastern. Shannon Bream now in Washington with more Fox News special coverage.
Thanks.